Hello, how's everyone doing today? It is Berkfamily54comics. I am Steve. Welcome to my live stream titled Top 5 Grails. I am joined by the awesome, the amazing Superpower review, also known as Karate Kevin. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, dude? How's things, man?
Good, you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on again, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to talk to you about some Grails. I'm excited to interact with the chat, let everyone know what our Grails are. A lot of people, they don't really make their videos about their Grails because there is someone in a community that does this show titled What's Your Grail? And that's Tony Sanders, which is awesome. But at the same time, it's nice. It's always nice to actually talk about what our Grails are. And I'm excited to chat with you about what my Grails are, what your Grails are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to hear what yours are for sure. I'm sure that there's definitely some similarities because you and I collect a lot of the same thing and we like a lot of the same characters.
We do collect a lot of the same characters and have a lot of the same likes. Hello, Jaden. How you doing? First person in the chat. What's up? I'm going to put this on the old Instagram, let everyone know. Big Daddy Burke is live. Yes.
Big Daddy Burke.
Yes, I just call myself Big Daddy Burke. All right, let's see here. And let's do this.
So it was pretty fun to actually
put a
list.
Hit us up on YouTube. We are live talking top 5 comic books or top 5 Grail comic books. Check us out. All right, sorry.
So it was actually kind of fun to do this because when I printed out my list, and I'll try not to show what I have on here to spoil it. Here, let me turn this around. I actually initially put top 5 most unattainable comic keys.
Right. So it is honestly. So we talked about this. We said obviously we'd know what everyone's number 1 and number 2 would be. It would be, hey, Phil, NC Slapjacks, Jaden, what's up? A couple other people that are in here. We said that we would not include Action Comics 1 or Detective Comics 27 because obviously we'll never be able to get those. But also that's on everyone's list. Everyone wants to get those. So those are the only 2 comic books that are off. Will not be able to be on our list tonight. So, but yes, the comic book Grails we're talking about tonight, they're for the most part they are unattainable Grails.
I mean, if anybody has a Tech 27 that they want to give me,
I mean, I would take one. Hey, Calvin, what's up, man? How you doing? Aggressively relaxing. What's up? Hey, do you want to get on my Thursday night chat tomorrow and talk Power Rangers? That would be awesome because we already have
Power Rangers
claims. We already got Tori Tate joining us, and obviously we have Ryan and Dustin, all Power Rangers fans. So if you want to join tomorrow, I know you're a Power Rangers fan. That would be awesome. Gomez, what's up? Justin Rican, what's up? So we're going to be talking our top 5 Grails tonight, and we said earlier we would not include Tech 27 or Action 1. Because everyone wants those. But these, are, for the most part, are Grails that we cannot afford or really unattainable unless we somehow buy a collection from a garage from a guy that passed away and wife doesn't know anything. So
that's true. Or if you find them like in a dollar bin at a yard sale or something.
Right. Kevin, I want that Tech 27 too, but yeah, impossible. Right? Justin Rican says hello, Kevin.
What's up, guys?
Okay, so before we get into our top 5, is there any books that you want to talk about that did not make your top 5 that are kind of close? Because I have a couple books that I do want to mention that are not top 5.
I mean, like these books are attainable, but they're pretty still at far reach for me. And this is one of the books that I'm trying really, really hard to get this year, and that's a House of Secrets number 92, which is the first appearance of Swamp Thing, which would be.
You've been really into Swamp Thing for about the last 6 months, I feel like.
What's that?
You've really been into Swamp Thing for like the last 6 months.
Yeah, I really have been. Swamp Thing, man, took me by surprise. It was one of those things that I thought I was not going to enjoy whatsoever. And to be honest, Swamp Thing 1 through 10, the Bernie Wrightson and the Len Wein run, the
Yep.
original run, is one of the best things I have ever read in comic books. And then I went on to the Absolute edition that starts the Alan Moore run,
Right.
and that blew me away as well. So yeah, I've been into Swamp Thing pretty big lately. So
That's
yeah,
the thing. Hashtag Swamp Thing.
that's my thing. Roderican knows because I tried getting him into some Swamp Thing too. I'm not sure if you read the books
Okay.
that
Nice.
I gave him yet, but yeah, Swamp Thing, man. Even
Fun.
such, yeah, it really is like the artwork and the storytelling together. Those two guys together are just a huge team. Like they were such a duo together, and like with Bernie Wrightson's art and Len Wein's writing, like there were some parts where like when Len Wein was like talking about certain scenes in that book, like you can actually feel that and hear that in your mind, and it's kind of like weird to say. You have to kind of like read it yourself and get your own take, but that's like some things that I pulled away from it when I read Swamp Thing. It was just so good.
We got a lot of good people in here. We got Bonix. We got JB. We got Gomez. We got Hawaiian Punch. We got Hudat. Rod. People are typing so much I can't. But comic books.
Like,
we got lots of great people up in here.
And like two other books that were like could be they're on they're on attainable list. Like I could get them, but again, they would take me a long time to get.
Right.
Like it took me forever to get my Hulk 181. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was a big book for me. That was the biggest comic book purchase I've ever made. But
I could have bought one about 2 months ago.
Ooh.
But it didn't have the value stamp, and it was already like a 4.0 without the value stamp, and so I was like, not worth it for me.
Yeah.
Mark Spencer, what's up, man?
I could care less about the stamp, to be honest. That's why I have mine. But the other books that I would like to get is one of them you have is the ASM 129, which is the first appearance of the Punisher,
Love that
and
book.
I would like to get a Daredevil #1.
Ooh, Daredevil 1. I know someone with a Daredevil 1. That guy.
ASM 300 for sale, Kevin.
You could get rid of about 7 or 8 of yours, and you could get a couple of these Grails that's on your list.
Yeah, you know what? They're right by my side. I think I just should bust them out.
Hey, just sell them all. Hey, as you're getting those ready, stamp is not an issue for me either, says Gomez. Marvel Comics 1 would be my ultimate Grail. What about Marvel Comics 1000? Okay, I'm going to go. He says, don't throw off, man. I'm going to get, wow, that's insane.
So here's 6 of them.
Jeez.
Because 2 of them I have graded.
Jeez.
Yeah. Those are my favorite.
Are any of those in the 9+ range?
What's that?
Are any of those ASM 300s in the 900+, or the 9.0+ range?
Yeah, I would say maybe at least 3 or 4 are. I would say maybe at least 2 would be in the 808.5.
How much for the ASM 300 says Chino Comics and More?
Not for sale.
Not for sale. NFS. I'm going to go over a couple other books. I'm going to go over 1 or 2, and then I'm going to save a few for after that said that just so people keep it suspicious about what I have. Right. Let's see. There is one attainable goal, one attainable Grail that I actually want this year that did not make my top 5, and that's Flash 110. If anyone did not know, I'm a huge Wally West fan, and that is his first appearance. And so Flash 110 is just outside my top 5, and I hope to get it this year. And I'm going to go and talk about one other book, and then I'll save the others that did not make top 5 for after. It's Power Rangers book, Power Rangers Zero. It's a Comics Pro edition. It's the Red Ranger with the Dragon Shield. They only made like 150 or 160 of them. They're like $600 raw.
Wow, really?
So like, if you get it graded and signed, it's like $2,000. So I think in New Mutants number 98 is way overpriced. I agree. I know you are, Steve. What does that mean?
I know you are, but what am I?
What am I? Okay. All right. Because he knows I'm a big Wally West fan. Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. I think we should start with number 5, and I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull this up really quick. All right. Your number 5 is?
All right, so my number 5 is a crime and suspense stories, number 22. This is a pre-code golden age comic. I'm sure you guys seen a lot this book very often. This is the classic decapitation cover. And so, you know, a lot of people, if a lot of people in the chat here know who I am, you know, I love Marvel. You know, I like DC, but mostly Batman. So, like, since we're doing 5 books today, I wanted to kind of pick something out of the norm. I do like classic horror stuff, and you know those old time suspenseful stories. So I kind of wanted to go off the cuff here and do something a little bit different. But I absolutely do love this cover. I wish I could get more pre-code books, but you know they're just so expensive. But this is just a classic cover for me. Really love this cover. It's just brutal, grotesque, and gross. And that's why I like it. And a CGC Blue Label graded at 3.0 is listed at $2,500.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't getting the prices ready, so I'm gonna go and pull up my first one.
I mean, I just did it just so I had a little more to talk about. But this is also a really cool story. So if I can remember, pretty much this guy had the husband that you see holding his wife's head pretty much went crazy one time and just decided to hack up his wife and then buries her in the backyard and toward the end gets caught by authorities.
Okay. All right. That's nuts. So someone asked, are these Ultimate Grails or Grails that are in our personal collection? These are our most unattainable, unrealistic Grails outside of Action Comics 1 and Tech 27. So
yeah, exactly. Just like Steve said in the beginning of the show, if you weren't here, we will not have these books unless we find them in some collection that nobody knew what they had, or maybe we got lucky and found them in like a storage unit or a yard sale, flea market, etc.
People literally don't know what they have.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that person didn't know about that ASM 129 that you picked up.
that old man, yes. This list is going to be expensive. Yes, it is.
Very.
I like talking about this because this is always fun to like think about if you won like the lottery. I'm like, buy all these books, or I could buy all these cars. All right, here we go. My number 5. That's a good first. That's a good number 5.
Yeah, I wanted to go somewhere different other besides Batman and Marvel.
Sure. Here we go.
And they have reprints of that book too, and I think the reprints can be a little expensive as well.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
My number 5. If you didn't know, big Flash fan. I have Showcase Comics number 4. This is the first appearance of Barry Allen as the Flash. Now I have nothing's unattainable. You just have to put your mind to it and go get it. I'm unsure about that.
Send us the funds.
Fun to me. Everyone knows I'm a big Flash fan. I love the Flash TV show. Well, I do think that Wally West is the best Flash. I do really like Barry Allen. I collect all of the Flash right now. I think he's a great Flash. He's number 2 on my list, but I definitely consider Jay Garrick is definitely the OG Flash, but I consider Barry and Wally is actually like the actual true Flashes, if that makes sense, because they've been the Flash the longest. And Barry has this. He started with this red suit with the yellow on it and all that stuff. Well, Jay Garrick just had the helmet and the jacket and whatnot. So a 5.0, a mid-grade copy, $21K.
Wow.
21,000. So number 5 on my list is Showcase Comics number 4, first appearance of Barry Allen as a Flash.
I like the background color of that cover, like how it goes from oranges to like a gradient yellow. It looks cool.
Yeah,
It's got some red in there too.
I like it. Let's see here. Hey, Tori, what's up, man? Yeah, we are live talking top 5 Grails. Let's see here. Send us 25K. Who dat?
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with who dat, but you got to be a certain type of person to commit to those kinds of numbers. Yes, Comic Books NYC has 2 of one of the books that's on our list. Is 2 of them. 2.
Wow.
And they're both graded, which is insane. I don't have enough funds in my Trump check. Sorry. I came in today. I was ecstatic about that. So,
you know, with number 5 I had, I don't know if you know who DS Comics is, but I wonder if he has a Crime Suspense Stories number 22 or is trying to get one.
I bet, I don't know. He's got a lot of books, dude. That unboxing he did the other day had a lot of good books. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go to Kevin's number 4.
Ooh, number 4. So number 4, we got World's Finest Comics number 3. And this is the very first appearance of Scarecrow. So this is kind of like, this is Golden Age pretty much. And this book is going for a high price dollar as well. This book is going for a CGC Blue label graded at a 7.0. This book is going for $10,500.
Wow. DS Comics is up in here. We were just talking about you, man.
See, we were just talking about you, man. His ears were ringing. He's like, "Oh, I gotta go to Berkfamily54comics YouTube channel."
Perry the other day, everyone was talking about him, just showed up, just lurking. He says, I do not have a Crime Suspense Stories 22. So
there you go. Now we know.
Now we know.
We were.
So why is this number 4 on your list?
This is number 4 on my list because Scarecrow is definitely on the top 3 and top 5 of my favorite Batman villains. So it would be really cool to have his first appearance, even though I already have his Silver Age first appearance, but this would be cool as well.
Yeah, that would be
Not
cool.
a huge fan of the cover, but it's very... See, like, when it comes to comic book collecting, to me, I'm not huge into campy. I kind of try to stay away from campy, but it's hard when it's, Golden Age and Silver Age, because now I'm not saying all of those books of that time period were campy, but yeah, they can be, definitely.
Kavi says he has World's Finest 8, but not a number 3 because that's a hard book to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is like a classic cover. I would definitely consider that one of the most classic covers that there are. I'd put it up there of like 251 for Batman 251, 227.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. Yeah, that cover is busted. Corey, it's good. I'm excited to have you on tomorrow, man.
It's nice to see Batman smiling. I mean, after the Golden Age, Batman stopped smiling. I guess he kind of remembered about his parents and his traumas, and then he wasn't smiling so much anymore.
How much did you say this one goes for?
10,500.
Wow.
At a 7.0 grade.
That's pretty high grade.
Yeah, it's a pretty high grade. Yeah, but I should have got the year that came out, but I don't.
I'm gonna go. So if these are okay. Except for one of these, all of these are older books. I'm just gonna go 5.0 prices on all of mine. Okay, my number 4. I don't think that you would have guessed that this would have been as low as it is on my list, but I just have other characters that I like more. Mm-hmm. So number 4, We have Amazing Fantasy 15. This is, if you didn't know, it's the first appearance of Peter Parker as Spider-Man. That classic cover. This is one of the books that Kavi has two of.
He has 2 copies, Kavi.
He has two.
Come on, man.
He has two. That's, I mean, just insane.
And I thought I was crazy having 8 copies of Amazing Spider-Man 300.
I want to say one of his is signed by someone. It's got to be Stan Lee, right? It's got to be Stan Lee.
It's got to
be. Mark Spector says, pass. Oh, shoot. Adrian says classic. It is. It is.
Mm-hmm.
A 5.0 is $33,000. 33 grand. Which I collect doubles of all my silver Grails so I can sell to buy Golden Age DC. Yes, DC is definitely, in my opinion, better of the two. But I mean, this book is amazing. It's Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah. It is simply amazing, pun intended.
It is simply amazing. Yeah, I didn't think it'd be that low on my list either. But like when I was looking at the other books that I want, it falls in my
right into place.
It falls at number 4. So that's where I had to go.
Very cool.
Hey,
Very
Matt
cool.
Flacco, what's up? How you doing?
Hey.
Okay, so we've done number 5 and number 4 for both of us. His number 5 was
World's Finest Comics.
What's that?
It was World's Finest Comics number 3.
That was your number 4. Your number 5 was Crime Suspense Stories 22. My number 5 was Showcase number 4, and then my number 4 was AF 15. Okay, let's see here.
We're only getting more expensive as we go down.
I would love to have an original copy of AF 15, let alone 2. Right? Right? Owning it is a fantasy for most people. True. All right, here we go.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I see what he did there.
We're all full of puns tonight.
We are full of puns. Here we go. You ready for number 3? I got to pull back.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Your number 3 is?
And I know Kavi definitely has this one because I've seen it recently. And my number 3 is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1 first print. Of course, this is the first appearance of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And since it's being a first print, there were only 3,000 copies made of the first printing. Yep. A CGC blue label, okay, graded at a 9.0 is going for $12,500 these days.
Wow. I wonder what a 9.8 goes for. Let me look.
I don't think I've ever seen one actually even in pictures, to be honest. I mean, I've never looked at it.
I want to say it's like 60 grand. It's 64,000 according to Go Collect.
There you go.
There's 13 sales of a 9.8.
But, this is just such a really cool cover. Of course, I grew up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Not when it first came out, of course, but I was right about there. You know what I mean? This was pretty much my childhood. It was when the first movie came out and the second movie came out. My brother and I were huge into this, into those movies. But, this is just such a cool cover. I really love this cover. I think an attainable copy would probably be, a third printing, pushing it on a second printing. But yeah, this would be a definite cool book to own. And I definitely have to get more Turtles in my collection because to say that I love Turtles, I don't have a single TMNT book in my collection. Well, other besides TMNT and Batman together. That's about it.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy.
Like I want a Raphael number 1 Wicked Bad, and I could have bought myself one, but I ended up buying it for my friend instead for his birthday, and he ended up getting that book signed and sketched by Kevin Eastman. He got pressed and cleaned. It came back at 9.2. It's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
And then back in the like I think maybe a year and a half ago, this is when the third printings were still a little like on the cheaper side. My friend snagged a TMNT third printing number one at a con and snagged it for $80.
I was gonna say I felt like it was like $100, but 80. That's
Yeah, it was $80. He got it signed and sketched, pressed and cleaned. Came back at 9.6, and ever since then, I think the third printing right now, like a very fine plus range, or right now I think goes for like at least $300+. So that book skyrocketed for some reason.
dude, I almost pulled the trigger on a third print as well for like 150, 175. I just haven't done it, but a third print would be a nice consolation for sure.
Yeah, third print would be great. Yeah, totally. And I got to read the book online, and it's totally different than what you're used to with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like definitely a very dark TMNT. And yeah, it's violent, those books.
So interesting story before we move on.
Sure.
Kevin Eastman was at a con last year that I went to, and
great guy.
He is, and what he was saying is that when they made the second movie, they wanted it to be more kid friendly. Mm-hmm. So when they were using their weapons, they couldn't use them on people. Yeah. So that's why, like, when you see Leonardo throw his swords in the air, and then he kicks people, or when Michelangelo has those sausages as nunchucks, so they couldn't really use their weapons like they would in the comics because they wanted to be more kid friendly, which makes sense.
Yeah, I remember that. So a lot of parents were complaining about the first movie, and pretty much, the studio didn't want to lose any money. And so when they were producing the second one and doing all the fight choreography, they actually hired a whole different fight choreographer. And he said he had the most fun trying to come up with these epic fight scenes without using their weapons.
Right. I thought it was really interesting. He also said he's never beaten the TMNT video game, which I don't know many people that have beaten that game, honestly. That's a tough game.
It is.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Number 3 on my list. I'm honestly shocked this wasn't on your list, to be completely honest.
I'm excited to see it now.
Brave and the Bold 28's first appearance of the Justice League. So, I am a big DC fan, if people did not know. And I like the Justice League because when I was a kid, I was like 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, maybe even younger, honestly. There was that Super Friends show, that DC Justice League Super Friends show. Yep. It was on every single night on Cartoon Network from 9:30 to 10 or 9 to 9:30. One of those. So obviously that is why I really like the Justice League and DC characters more, because I would just watch that show every single night. And so I really like the characters a lot. Obviously, the Flash and Batman are my favorites. So that's why this book is on my list. And honestly, this book at a 5.0 isn't like super unattainable for right now, at least. Mark Spector says that's an affordable book, which I was shocked. I thought it'd be going for higher. Undervalued at the moment. Yes, I agree. A 5.0 goes for $3,800.
That's not horrible.
A 9.8, which there's never been any sales. So, but a 9.8 goes for $1.6 million.
Wow. If there was a 9.8, it would go that much because there's none in the census?
Oh, I don't know about on the census, but it says there's never been a sale.
Oh, okay.
On the census, yeah, there is none. There is one 9.6 on the census, and it says a 9.6 would go for $675,000.
Holy cow!
So, but you can get a mid-grade 5.0 for $3,800.
Yeah. So. See, the reason why that would not be on my list is because I'm not too big on other DC characters. I mean, I don't even think Batman's in that book, right?
What's that?
I don't even think Batman's in that book, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he is. So if he's not in that book, then no, I'm definitely not getting it.
Geek Assets just said something interesting, and I want to show him something. Before I show that, I'm surprised you don't have this book.
Yeah, I really wish I had that book.
I got this for $40 before I
Yeah.
got signing graded.
That's how much I got my friends for. Mine's was my friend's was $40. I bought it for his birthday.
Okay, Geek Assets. You were asking about this book. I got it. Brave and Bold 54, first appearance of the Teen Titans. I'm also a big Teen Titans fan. I got this book last year, sold it when I needed some money because my car died, and then Big Will sold it back to me. And so I'm stoked to have this in my
So you got 2 books back in your collection from when you sold them?
I have, 3. Well, yeah, 2. I have 2. I have the Wolverine. I have that book, and I feel like there's one other one.
That's pretty cool, man.
He wants that book so bad.
That's really cool that you ended up getting. Like I saw that you got your Wolverine back, which was really cool.
Yeah, I did get my Wolverine back from Comics NYC.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
cool.
I really appreciate everyone for helping me out with that. I haven't talked Kevin into selling me back my 9.8 ASM 361 yet.
I was just gonna say you're not getting your ASM 361 back.
But you know what, though? It did work out a deal that I still got a book. I'm happy to have a 9.0 because honestly, I thought the last one was going to be between a 9.0 and a 9.4, and it came back to 9.8. So I'm just
so you know, that book has never been pressed and cleaned.
You know, honestly, I could see it being a 9.4 or a 9.2. But yeah, we're showing off some sick books. At least I think they're sick.
I've been because I got my 9.6 back in. I don't know if anyone saw my my unboxing video, my CDC unboxing video, but I'm thinking about selling that 9.6 that I got, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay. We could do comic book collateral loans. No, I'm not selling the Brave and the Bold. That's for sure. I'm not selling any of my books right now, honestly. He's going to talk to me about Brave and the Bold. 28 or 54? I think you have both, honestly. Okay. Enough about me. We're getting to the top 2.
Whoa, we're getting serious now. More monies.
Getting serious. Okay, hold on. 54. Okay, all right. Hey, guess what? 54 is the best number. Brave and Bold 54, Berkfamily54comics. Anyone doesn't know, I'm going to share a story really quick before we move on. I'm sorry.
No, totally. Go for it.
4 is my number for 3 reasons. It was my high school football number, and I chose that number because my grandpa also wore number 54 in high school, and he wore that number because he graduated in 1954. And he and I were best friends before he passed away about 10 years ago, 11 years ago. So that's why that number is special to me, and I use it on like almost everything. So
that's cool.
I miss owning an ASM 361. Yeah, it's a nice book. It's a nice book. All right, here we go.
I have a question for you about the 54. Now, is there any books that you look at with the number 54 and be like, yeah, that's some book that I would definitely like to own?
No, that's the only one. As long as you don't have a 54-inch waist. No, I don't. It is kind of big because I'm old and I'm a dad. The dad bod is like. Okay, enough about my fatness. Here we go. Karate Kevin, Superpower reviews. Number 2.
Number 2. All right, now we're getting serious here. We're getting into more money. Here is a Batman number 1 from 1940. Of course, this is a Golden Age book. This is Batman's first solo series, and this is the first appearance of Joker and Catwoman. A CGC purple label graded at a 7.5 is currently listed on eBay for $70,000.
What grade was that again?
7.0 purple label.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 7.5. My mistake. 7.5.
Wow.
the grade makes a huge difference here.
So that book is legit. When I did not put it on the most, when I put it on the list, like when I did not put it on, saying you could not put it on your list, I knew that it was going to be on your list. So yeah, I knew that was coming. So
I mean, come on, we have the first appearance of the Joker. It's a big deal because now Batman has his own series. You have the first appearance of Catwoman. You know, two characters that are, you know, my top favorites in the Batman universe. You got 3 short stories in that book, I believe. 2 of them involve the Joker. So
Batman 1 is like a souped up 12-cylinder Mercedes sports car of a Grail.
wow, that was very well put, Kavi. Very well put.
What's really interesting is that when I was watching his YouTube channel, it's actually one of the Storage Wars people. The guy, he's kind of a bigger guy. I think his name is like Michelle or something. I don't know. He
has a weird name.
Yeah. So you've seen it, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, he has one of these.
I subscribe to his YouTube channel.
I subscribed to his YouTube channel after watching that too.
Yeah.
He got this book along with like thousands of other Grails and Golden Age and Silver Age books because they bought a house, and these comic books were just shoved in like drawers and whatnot. Yeah. 54 is a special number for me too. Good. Maybe we'll talk about that. So, number 2 for you is the Batman.
Batman number 1, baby. Spring issue of 1940.
Guess what?
Uh-oh. Hey!
Batman 1 is also my number 2. When I was making my list, I was like, oh man, we have the same number 2.
That's cool.
So,
you know, I think the last time you came on my show and we talked about Batman books that we wanted to put in our collection, I believe there was one time where we had the same book in the same number as well. I'm not sure. But I know we definitely had a lot of similarities.
We did. I think it was Batman 121.
Yep.
So Batman number 1 is also my number 2. And you already have this number looked up. So what is that again? The 7.0 purple, you said?
It was a 7.5 purple label, and it is going for $70,000.
Wow.
That was the most expensive one I found. So, like, everything on my list today, when I was looking at books, you know, and I was looking through the list, I was trying to pick the most expensive copy I could possibly find.
Right. And I'm going to look up just a mid-grade just to see what it says because I've been doing a lot of mid-grades.
Yeah.
A 5.0. What'd you say? It was a 7.5 purple label?
Yeah.
A 5.0 blue label. $200K.
So wow, that restoration really decreased the value of that book hardcore, huh?
It did. The highest grade there is on the census is a 9.2.
Wow.
Isn't
that amazing?
Yes. A 9.2 goes for $1.75 million.
Wow.
1,750,000.
And there's only one 9.2, and that's the highest grade?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
If there was a 9.8, which there's not, it would be worth $6.1 million.
Can you imagine a book, okay? This just blows my mind, okay? Right. Imagine a book from 1940, okay, into today being a grade of a 9.2. I mean, that thing must have been stuck in a vault for years, not doing anything, not touch. Someone had that book, okay, back in 1940 and was like, this is going to be something. Dude. And then just probably pass it on, or someone found it. Like, right? That's just crazy.
Yeah, it's only realistic to get smaller Grails over a long period of time and then package them up for a trade. It's a long road. Too expensive for blue labels for that book. Dude, a 0.5 CGC blue label, 20,000.
Yeah, I follow somebody on Instagram who has a a 1.0 or a 0.5, and it's a purple label.
Nice.
I think his name on Instagram, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's MSG for life.
Oh, nice.
But
Hey,
he has one.
what's up, man? What's up, dude?
What's up?
For Thursday night chat. That's my Power Ranger friend.
But I can't get over. So I remember, we're going off track here, but I remember CGC posted a Golden Age comic book, okay, from I want to say it was maybe even 1938. That was a double cover and graded a 9.9.
From what year?
I think it was 1938, if I'm not mistaken.
Holy crap, dude!
It was a double cover, and it graded at a 9.9.
Dude, my comic shop that closed down last year here in town,
Yeah,
they had a #1 Shazam #1 double cover,
wow.
and like obviously you goes to the higher grade. It's always inside cover.
Yeah,
cover it would have been a 9.8, and he sold it for like $500, which
wow,
I'm
that's
surprised didn't sell for more, but
yeah. Yeah, it would be cool to own a double cover someday. A double cover, and it would be cool to own a book that is graded 9.9, no matter what book it is.
my aunt told me years ago that there was serious money to be made from comics. Back then, she told me Action Comics #1 was only worth $30,000. Wow. I'm gonna look up really quick before I move on, just to see what the lowest, grade is.
On Action?
Yeah. I don't see it says that a FMV is pending. They don't have any FMVs. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, are you ready for your #1?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Don't do it. Batman 1 is the first appearance of Joker. It is. Hey, Berk, Superpower. Once this whole COVID-19 blows over, do you guys think comic shops will be like dinosaurs, extinct? I do not. I do not.
I don't think so, but they'll definitely be they'll definitely be endangered.
Oh, TJ has a double cover 9.9. That's insane. I'm not shocked though. Okay, here we go.
Now this was your number 3 or 4? This was your number 4. So your number 4 is my number 1. We're gonna go with, of course, an Amazing Fantasy number 15, which is of course the first appearance of Spider-Man. A CGC blue label. It graded at a 7.0 is currently listed on eBay for $130,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember when I first started getting back into comic book collecting, and I was going to my to a con. I haven't been into a con in years, and someone had a 0.5 for sale, and I was like, just out of curiosity, how much are you selling that for? And he goes, let's make this more interesting. Why don't you take a wild guess? And I go, I'm gonna say that book is gonna go for
Is it a 0.5?
A 0.5, yeah. And I go, I'm gonna say that book is $6,500. And he goes, you are right on the money, sir. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's crazy.
The go collect value, obviously it depends on who's selling it and all that, and values go up and down. But a 0.5, according to go collect for Amazing Fantasy 15, is $8,250.
So it's gone up then.
Yep.
And now, while we were doing this, while I was coming up with my list, of course, I was on eBay searching around, and I found something really cool, actually. This is kind of off topic, but we're still talking about Amazing Fantasy number 15. But I found a listing on eBay of someone who was selling a graded page from Amazing Fantasy number 15, and it was going for $2,500. But I thought that was super cool. You don't have the full book, but it would be kind of cool just to even have a page of it. And I'm almost certain that Mr. Comics 89 on YouTube actually owns a page from Amazing Fantasy 15 as well.
It is
But it
a
was,
buyer's market for sure. Definitely right now. People are holding on to books. That's for sure. So AF-15.
yeah, that would be the number one most unattainable book.
Well, I mean, honestly, it is pretty unattainable. Reggie, who has some insane books. Hey, Perry, always lurking somewhere.
What's up, Harry?
Reggie doesn't even have an AF-15 yet. I think he's going to get one here pretty soon, but definitely by the end of the year. And you can't go wrong with Go Collect Comics. That is correct.
Yeah, if you're like a Spider-Man fan, that is like the grail to own. I mean,
Right.
and like I feel like whoever is a Spider-Man fan, like people fall hard for Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It's just like Spider-Man. If you're a Batman fan, you fall hard for Batman. But yeah, that's
like
definitely a big grail.
Like if people are into it, they're really, really into it. So, okay. Honestly,
I think I know what your number one's going to be.
I think you know what it is too.
Yeah, I think I know what your number one is.
Go ahead and guess before I reveal it.
If I get it wrong, I'm going to send somebody an Amazing Spider-Man number 300. No, I just
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what?
Go ahead and guess what you think my number one is.
Oh. I thought you were trying. So I was like, your number one is gonna be my number three, which is Team NT number one first print.
That is correct.
Hey,
number one is my number one book. When I was a kid, I was like 2 years old when the first movie came out, and my parents still took me to the movie. And I remember a couple of years later, we moved into a new house, and back then they had these fat heads. Because everyone knows what fat heads are. They're those big posters you can put on your wall. Well, we had fat heads of every single Ninja Turtle on my walls except for one, because apparently it messed up when I put it on my wall. But I had those, and I had the border around the top, and I had the light switch cover, and I had every single action figure. I had the turtle bus, the van, I should say. I had everything you could think of, Ninja Turtles. So Team NT number one is my number one on my top 5 Grails. Obviously, it's more attainable than a lot of the other books on this list, but in terms of like emotional value for me, that is why it's number one on my list.
I totally get it. Yeah.
If it's a Power Rangers book, it gets a thumbs down. No, I talked earlier, there was one Power Rangers book that was just outside my top 5. So yes, Team NT number one is my number one. And I'm going to go back. I said this earlier. 9.8 would be $64,000. Let me make sure I have this correct before I say it.
Did you watch any recent Pawn Stars where a guy brought in his signed first print Team NT?
No, I did not.
No, that was actually a really interesting watch.
I saw a guy brought in a AF-15. And it was like, I want to say it was not graded, and so they called a guy, and the guy came in, and before he even like sold it, he's like, I want $16,000 for it. And it looked like it was like a 5 or a 6.0.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, well, I'd probably say it's around 8,000. And they're like, so how much do you want for it again? And he's like, well, 16,000. So they didn't make a deal on it. I feel like every time Pawn Stars, they only want like stuff on there that's going to draw ratings, and they want to get it for super cheap.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'll get an AF-15 for super cheap. Hey, Old Wolf, what's up?
Yeah. In that episode of Pawn Stars, they actually call in Kevin Eastman to evaluate the signature and the book.
And what did he say?
Well, he said it was clearly a first printing. He didn't give a price range of what the book was going to cost. He kind of gave a guesstimate, but they had a whole other person come in and grade the book and kind of give a value on it.
Right. And
that was cool. What's that?
What's interesting about these expensive books is I'm pretty sure that CGC charges more to grade these. I want to say like a Team NT1 will charge you like like $1,200 to get it graded or something.
Yeah.
They go off the value of the book.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Comics for Thomas and Count Von Strange and Old Whoop? All sorts of really good people in here.
Hey, Count Von Strange is in the house, and I want to thank him for coming on because he said that he saw my post. He's like, hey, man, I'll definitely be there. So thanks for coming by, man.
Yeah. And Tori said the same thing. And Tori's been in here, and he said he'll jump on. So I appreciate everyone for hanging out. So what are some books, or are there any other books you want to talk about that did not make your top 5? Because I have some other ones that were close.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, the beginning that there's books that I definitely want. I didn't see that. After a certain point, like the 3 books I mentioned, like I think a Daredevil #1 would be cool to have someday. An ASM 129. But the big book that I'm really trying to work on this year is A House of Secrets #92. That's the big book for this year.
Yes.
It's possible. Hopefully. I'm saving. I'm trying not to buy anything right now. I'm not trying not to buy books right now because of this whole craziness that's going on. But that's pretty much my list.
They do lowball patrons. Yes, they do on that show. And Count Von Strange said they charge you 10% for those expensive books.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay, here are some other books that did not make my top 5. Hey, backseat driver, what's up?
Hey.
Hopefully you have your winnings by tomorrow because I think you're doing an unboxing tomorrow of Los. So hopefully it's there by then so you can unbox it. Okay, some other books that did not make my top 5. GSX #1.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, that's one that I do want to get someday. Yep, that's another one.
X-Men #1.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever one of those.
Right. Justice League #1. And Batman. We said this before. Batman 121. We both want that, but that's a really expensive Batman book too. So.
That's first appearance of Mr. Zero, right?
Yep. All right. So to recap, wait, well, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do this.
Get the Toys R Us reprint.
Okay. So here. Oh, come on. Here is Kevin's #5.
Yep. Crime Suspense Stories #22. Just a really cool pre-code Golden Age comic with the classic decapitation cover.
Here's his #4.
And #4, we got World's Finest Comics #3, which is the first appearance of Scarecrow.
Sorry, that was #4. #3.
And #3, we got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. The first print, of course, the first appearance of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Only 3,000 copies printed.
It's showing up right. I feel like it's not showing up right. Okay, good enough.
And #2, we have Batman #1 from 1940. This is the spring issue. This is Batman's first solo series, and this is also the first appearance of Joker and Catwoman.
Dude, I need to have you read mine off just like you're doing this because you're making this sound. You're like a hype man. And your #1, of course.
And #1, of course, coming down to #1 is Amazing Fantasy #15. This is, of course, the first appearance of Spider-Man, and it's just a holy grail to anyone who is a Spider-Man fan.
Okay, here we go. Steve's top 5. Okay, my top 5. We got Showcase Comics #4. This is the first appearance of Barry Allen as the Flash in that awesome Flash suit. This is the first appearance of that Flash suit since the previous Flash was Jay Garrick, and he had the helmet with the red vest and jeans. So my #5 is Showcase #4. My #4 is AF-15. I really like Spider-Man, but not as much as I like some of the other books ahead of it. So #4 is AF-15. That is honestly the more attainable of like all of these, I feel like. Well, one of the more attainable ones, I guess. #3, Brave and the Bold 28, which is the first appearance of the Justice League. I I said this earlier. I really like the TV show. I really liked Super Friends, Justice League when I was a kid. So that's why I'm a big DC fan. So the first appearance of the Justice League and Brave and Bold 28 is my number 3. My number 2, also Batman. And my number 1 is TMNT.
Sweet.
And
Nice list.
Those are first prints, obviously. Those are the ones we want.
Those are the ones we want. Those are the ones that we care.
Well,
I actually work with somebody. I'm sorry?
I would say I would take a third print of TMNT or a second print. But
yeah, of course.
A first print is a grail for sure.
So I used to work with somebody back in the day who was into comic books, and when he was growing up through the 80s and when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hit big and when he was into comic book collecting, he has a second print of TMNT and he has all first prints on the other copies.
Wow.
I guarantee he still has them because I know he's huge into books and that was like one of his like most prized possessions.
Right. Let's see here. Brave and Bold is a great book. Definitely pick it up if you can. Very affordable, relative to other books in its class. A lot of the big Silver Age DC books are. Yes. This is probably, I'm going to show off 2 books real quick that are my 2 favorite books in my entire collection. Showed us earlier, Brave and Bold 54, First Teen Titans. Love this book. Colors pop on it. Honestly, I feel like maybe if I got it pressed, it might come back a little bit higher. But I actually think a 4.0 is probably a pretty fair grade.
What year is that book?
1964. And then, so that's one of my favorite books in my collection. And then this is my absolute favorite book in my collection. You already know. Green Power Ranger, issue 0, 1 of 50 variants. Big JDF Green Ranger fan. That's why it's my favorite book in my collection. But there's not a lot of Power Ranger books that are worth it.
I love those covers. Those covers are really cool. And they were smart to do every single Power Ranger as the same cover. And that's how you make that money.
That is how you make that money. I have a lot of those helmet covers. Let's see here. Alex Comic Order, thanks for hanging out. Thanks to everyone in here for hanging out. We had a great time talking comic books, talking Grails. We've had Kevin on here the last 2 weeks. Maybe we'll come up with something else to talk about next
After
week.
this, I'm going to get really sad and depressed. I'm going to take my list and I'm going to think about all the books I can't have.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Corey Tate. Yeah, how about everyone do this? Go ahead and put in the chat what your top 5 would be.
Yeah.
Corey Tate did this, and this is great. Tori says his top 5 in no particular order. Giant Size X-Men number 1, ASM 300, Detective Comics 359, which that's on my list to get this year. It's more attainable than other ones. Hulk 181, and Transformers 1. I think it's a 1. So Karate Kevin has 2 of those books.
I'm just going to say that I know a guy who has an ASM 300.
I know at least one person has every one of those books, actually. So, I've talked to them before. Let's see here. As early as 15 years ago, you could get an AF-15 and a 3 to 5.0 for 2 to 4,000 all day. My wife apologizes every time because she would not let me cash in a 401k to acquire them. Well, that's what happens, man. I understand.
Sometimes that can't happen. You know what I mean? Like, when I really wanted my Hulk 181, I definitely had to dig it in the wife a little bit. Like, you sure? Come on. It's an investment.
It's a lot harder for me because I'm a dad. So we got other stuff we got to save and spend money on. But since you guys don't have children, I mean, I feel like it's a little bit easier.
0 children. We have dogs.
So you can spend money on all your fun stuff.
Yeah.
You want?
I mean, yeah, whatever. To each his own. Maybe someday down the road there will be kids, and maybe that's why I'm doing all this now, because maybe I won't be able to when there are kids.
Sell all 8 of your ASM 300s. All 8 of them. They're gonna be gone. You haven't.
No,
You haven't.
you know what? I'm gonna have 8 kids, and each kid gets one.
The oldest gets the highest grade, and the youngest gets the next highest grade. And
No, that's boring. They're all gonna train in karate, of course. Whoever is the best of the karate training, and they're all gonna fight. Whoever is victorious wins the best one.
right.
I'll be old, and I'll be like, yes, get him, yes, beat him up. You want this, don't you?
Magic Lasso says he doesn't know what his top 5 is, but his number 1 is any Golden Age Sensation Comics, the first appearance of Wonder Woman. If anyone doesn't know, Magic Lasso is the biggest Wonder Woman fan that I know. So that's why he says that.
That's cool.
Actually, Driver 5280 says he really wishes his dad collected comics and would have given him a head start. Well, that would be cool. There's this guy, I want to say his name is like Lee Ditko Kirby Comics or something.
Lee Kirby Ditko.
He's got like every single Grail ever. His dad and him both collect comics, and his dad has to make buku money because they have the most insane collection I've ever seen. And they have like glass, like they have a whole comic book room. They have them all displayed. I mean, there's probably $1 million worth of comic books just in there.
Yeah, there's some seriousness in there. I think his brother collects too. I think like it was like a family thing where it was him, his dad, and his brother. Yeah. The person I bought my Hulk 181 from, he has quite the collection. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he has. When I went to go purchase my Hulk 181, he showed me some stuff, man. It was just absolutely crazy. Original art that he has framed up in his room and stuff. Oh man, the things that people can acquire and obtain is just crazy.
Have 54 kids and name them all Steve. I do have one child. It is a girl, and her name is Aria, and she's awesome. His true girl is a Captain America Comics #1. Nice. Tori Tate says, I'm a proud owner of an FF52, got it for $30. What?
Wow.
X-Men 94 and X-Men 101 are his babies. Nice. Anyone else want to put their top 5 here before we jump off? I can love to talk about those for the next 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to end our evening. I'm going to jump over to Chino Comics and More live stream, because they're doing a live auction sale, and I'm one of their moderators. I like to go in there and help them out and just make sure they get it all taken care of. And also,
I'm staying away from sales. I'm staying away from them.
If there's any books that are going for low, which they never do on live sales, they never go for low. Though I did get a Batman 189 for $47 shipped in Big Will's live auction, like
wow.
And it's like
nice.
It's like a 5.0 or 4.0 grade, which is crazy.
Hey, did you see my Batman killing joke? I finally got it.
I did. Okay, I saw. Okay, here's what happened. I went to your Instagram.
Yeah.
And I saw the post from today, and then I saw the previous post that I had not seen until when I went to your page. And what? There it is, because you said you were going to get it. So. I'll show off mine real quick since I have it right here.
That's definitely my second favorite Joker cover of all time. Yeah, that's great. I love that cover.
This is actually my second 9.8 of this. It's not my first one. Not selling this guy. Not selling this.
Oh, so you had 2.
I've had 2. This is my
cool.
I'm going to show off one other book real quick. There's 2 other books. I just like to show off books. It's always fun.
I mean, who doesn't like to see them?
This is awesome. Power Rangers #5, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive variant. So the Black Ranger wore the Dragon Shield in one episode of Power Rangers.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's an exclusive variant. And I also used to have a copy of this, and I sold it when I needed some money. And then my dude, Carlito Classico, AOK'd me a raw copy, and I was sure it was going to come back in 9.4 or 9.6. Came back in 9.8, which is insane. And I love this book. And then next book, this is the last one I'll show off. Don Dada, you hear that? Batman 181 5.0, not CGC $40. No, it was a Batman 189, and it's raw. Batman
Yeah,
6596, signed by Doug Mankey. Love
that'd
it.
be a nice book to have someday.
Do you not have this book?
I have that book, but it would be cool to have one signed.
Yeah, it was. I'm excited about this. Though I will say a blue label would look good with this book, obviously, with it being a blue cover.
Yeah.
So
Yellow labels just look so great. I love yellow labels. I just love signed books, period. That's my favorite thing to do is get books signed.
I'm looking to see if there's any other books that I really like in here that I haven't shown. I have a lot of good books, but those are my favorites that I've shown. Batman 189 makes more sense. Yes. Still a cool book. Yes. Nice. Not even a facsimile. No. Okay. Really want one of those. Which one? Power Rangers? Probably not. Batman 635. I got that raw for $75, and then I paid for it to get pressed, and then I got it signed and graded. I was really hoping it would be a 9.6 or a 9.8. I felt like it wasn't going to be a 9.8, so I was really hoping for a 9.6. And when it came back in 9.6, I was ecstatic because I was a little worried.
Yeah.
But you never know, CGC. Yellow labels are great because of those signatures. They are.
You could get someone who woke up on the wrong side of the bed on that day and give you a bad grade.
This still pisses me off, man. I guarantee if I sent this book back in, it'd come back a 9.8.
Yeah. See, I have one book in my collection that I totally don't agree with the grade. I have a Detective Comics number 880, which is that classic Joker Jock cover.
Oh, yeah. I used to have one of those.
Yeah, mine's signed. And mine is a 9.0 for some reason. Now, I originally bought this off of somebody because someone was selling it at a great deal. And then after, looking over the book, I was like, how in the hell is this book a 9.0? There is almost nothing, hardly anything wrong with this book.
Right?
The lowest this book should be a 9.4. No way a 9.0. So I think I might resubmit that book, to be honest.
Yeah, I think about resubmitting mine as well.
I just don't really agree with the grade at all. I mean,
No.
and that's the only book I have. Everything else, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. But that's the only book I have in my collection where I'm like, that is no way a 9.0. No way.
I think I'm going to crack this and get this pressed and regraded because I think with the press, it'd come back a 9.8. So
I can't see the grade. It's the live thing is okay, 9.4.
I think it'd come back a 9.8 if I got it pressed. So I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can see pressable defects. Now, I say all the time, I think we've talked about this on our last live video. Pressing and cleaning your books is a very, yeah, exactly. But, don't do it just hoping for the best. Really take a look at your book and actually see if there is any defects on it. And, so you can guarantee that this book will definitely benefit from a press. But if you don't really see anything and you're like, the cover's pretty smooth and, there's really no spine ticks that break color on here, then there's just no point.
Okay. I definitely agree with that. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about before we jump off? I think we've had a great show.
Yeah. One thing I will show, okay, because before we went live, this thing has been underneath me, and if anyone knows what a Sharpie marker smells like, it smells absolutely awful. And I think I kind of have a contact eye a little bit, but I've been working on this for a little bit. So obviously, a lot of people know that I love Venom.
Oh yeah, you do, obviously.
So this is one of the biggest drawings I've been working on right now. Okay. And right now for yesterday I worked on it for 2 hours, and I've been working on it a little bit today, but I've been working on the detail on the teeth, right, which is every little
I see them.
Feather and every little tiny line. It's been taking me a long time, but that's what I've been working on.
Let's see that Green Ranger cover, or that Green Ranger. You have it in front of
you? Green Ranger drawing, yeah.
That looks dope, Kevin. That's awesome, Kevin. Nice.
It's not a cover. It's on just a piece of paper, but it's on a card stock. But here's a Green Ranger I did.
Sick, dude.
requested by Steve B, of course. You're like, hey, you draw a lot of comic book characters, draw a Power Ranger. I'm like, you know what? I should draw
You should.
Power Ranger. And this was actually one of the hardest things I had to draw. It's not like super clean. I'm actually kind of impressed of how it came out on my first attempt of a Power Ranger, but it was super hard because like the helmet is just so symmetrical and it has to be on point. You know what I mean? It's just hard.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Awesome.
That's what I've been doing during this whole quarantine. You know, every time I'm home, I'm
well,
either training or drawing.
Might as well. Oh, Biggie says his is a Lau cover. Nice. Yeah, I love Warren Lau. I want to get me a Batman 50 Warren Lau cover. That would be sweet. Okay. Does it piss you off, Burke, that Kevin looks more like the Green Ranger than you do? No, not at all. I've met the Green Ranger, and he's amazing.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. I've met him a couple of times, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, karate stuff?
I just went up to his table one time and said, hey. Just say, hey, I follow you on Instagram. I'm inspired by your martial arts trainings.
Hey.
What's that?
You didn't get anything signed? You just said hey?
No, I just went over and said hey.
Nice. All right. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out.
Yes, thank you.
On your channel?
I'm sorry?
You have anything coming up this week on your channel?
I have one video idea. I don't know if it's going to be posted this week, but I gotta say I've definitely been. I have less ideas for the channel recently ever since this quarantine. Yeah, so I think it's time to maybe like take like a week break or something. But I do have a show idea that I did get from Very Gary Comics. He had his wife go on there, and she was supposed to guess the names of comic book characters, which I've done with my wife a bunch of times. Of course, unfortunately, it wasn't recorded, and I could not get her on camera.
Yeah, so those, I call it name that comic book character, and I've done it with my daughter and my wife. And so
yeah,
I'm gonna do
so
that.
I think I'm gonna switch it up, and I think I'm gonna do it with my mom.
Nice.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, other than that, I know that a Venom 2 trailer was rumored to drop yesterday. Of course, it didn't. But if one does drop soon, I might do a reaction video to it. So if I can, if possible. So
yeah, I might do that too. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, running out of ideas, and I think it's maybe a good time to kind of like relax and sit back and go back to the drawing board and see what's going on.
I'm gonna do so. I got my Thursday night chat tomorrow night with the homies, and I'm gonna do a video where it was actually gonna be my live stream tonight, but I'm glad that we did this instead because this was more fun. I'm gonna do a video on rearranging my comic book like wall and room and deciding what comic books I want to put up on my wall.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then I'm going to do a video as well where I'm going to name that comic book character with my daughter. And then I had a couple other ideas that whenever I have ideas, I just put them in my notes on my phone. And then
me too. Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out, Kevin. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, man. I definitely would like to do this more often if you want.
Absolutely, dude.
Cool.
All right, man. We'll see you later. And thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Again, this is Berkfamily54comics. I'm Steve. Everyone stay safe. And as always, go Cat.